Oh boy, Tropical Freeze. The game starts with the Kong family having a good time until multiple penguin dudes come in and completely freeze DK Island, which later then equals to DK and crew getting blasted off DK Island. After that, you go straight into the first level. Controlling DK? I really have to say, this game has the best controls out of the whole series. They removed everything that was annoying in Donkey Kong Country Returns, everything from the stupid blowing mechanic to the obligatory motion controls. But I gotta say, if there's one thing that the original trilogy does be, the movement. My only gripe with the movement is that there's a little delay when going left to right. Apparently this was made to make the game feel more realistic, but other than that, I could say with confidence that the game's controls are real good. But I'll stop talking about the controls. Let's actually talk about the first level. And this here is one of the best introduction levels to a game I've seen in a very long time. It shows you how the game is without showing you the true meat of the game. The levels that follow it are also pretty good at introducing you to the main mechanics of the game without showing you to the true identity of the game. Even the first boss, while not too hard or interesting, still shows you a cool and quick demonstration on how the future bosses will be. The game's first world nails everything a first world wants to nail, by showing you the base parts of the game without showing you too much. Rayman Legends didn't do this too well in my opinion. The game showed too much in the first and second world of the game, that halfway through the game, it just didn't have enough steam left and just keep on bringing the same ideas to the table. And even when the game introduced new ideas, it just seemed unnecessary in my opinion. I'll talk about the uniqueness of Tropical Freeze's levels later. One of the biggest things that the game introduced was multiple Kongs. Diddy returns, but Cranky and Dixie join too. Diddy basically works the same as he did in Returns, as in he does a little flutter, which could be very helpful. Too bad Dixie does what Diddy does and more. So you know how I told you that Diddy has a little flutter? Well, Dixie also has a little flutter, except that flutter brings you up and covers more land. Oh yeah, and it's called the helicopter jump. The other Kong that was introduced was, as I said, Cranky. And Cranky Kong is the best to play, in my opinion. Cranky has a Scrooge McDuck pogo jump, which isn't just super satisfying, but it actually lets you go on spikes. Plus, if you want a speedrun, in most levels, I feel like he would be the best. I have to say, other than a few levels, I won't give you a good reason why you should pick Cranky over Dixie. But I'm gonna talk about the true meat of the game now. The levels. From the second world onward, every level feels engaging, atmospheric, and the level design is just mwah. The atmosphere gets even better when you consider that the amazing music was composed by David Wise. This is, in my opinion, David's best work apart from Country 2. But my favorite part about the game isn't the music, but of course the levels. And oh boy, the game has some banging levels. This game is like a series of playable stories, and I mean it in a good way. Every level has a progression to them that actually makes sense. They make every level feel more engaging. And this level design is very consistent, and I like that. The thing about the levels that people will tell you is that every level is consistently bringing a new idea to the table. There are more ideas in 4 levels of the game than you'll find in the whole new Super Mario Bros. Series that has 4 games. Even though each world has one big theme to them, that doesn't mean that they recycle the same idea throughout 10 worlds, but then slightly tweak it. Well, yeah, and let's take a moment to talk about the world themes. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but trust me when I tell you that each one has a cool enough concept and are all good, even though if there's one world, of course, is just based on ice or which is based on water. But there's one world based on fruits. But now I'm gonna talk about the second world. The second world has a cool autumn theme and the best minecart level, and probably that minecart level is probably one of my favorite levels in the whole entire game. So the level makes you think it's gonna be a normal minecart level, then it gets more interesting. You go on a boat and then you believe, wow, the developers rushed the game so much because they didn't even finish the level. The level builds itself. As you see, they could have easily made this 3 levels. But no, there's multiple levels in this game. And if you compare it to the new Super Mario Bros. Series, there's not a single level that's a quarter as interesting as that level. And that's across 4 whole games, and Tropical Freeze is only 1. And that's not the only level that's very interesting like that, as I said. Just take a look at level 3-1, Grassland Grooves. First you see these dancing trees. Second, you see these dancing platforms. Third, you see a bit of monkey climbing. Fourth, you grind onto these things that kind of look like zebras. Fifth, you go on a combination of everything. The game goes and gives you dessert with a variant of the zebra thing, but now with snakes, and trust me, it's pretty cool. And just telling you, that's all in one level. They could have easily made this 5 levels, and it would have easily have 30 times the creativity of a whole new Super Mario Bros. Level. Or heck, not level, but the whole series, and that's across 4 games, as I said. But Retro Studios ain't play like that. The level of love and dedication that Retro Studios poured into each level, it is surprising and scary. Let's just take Reckless Ride. First it shows a bit of promise, showing you cool ideas, nothing to write home about, but still cool ideas. And then out of nowhere, it flips the angle, and a penguin in a mecha comes in to murder you. But he fails, runs away like a little coward, and then you think, hey, he's gone, right? Because right after your epic anime battle you had with the penguin, you go back to your normal rocket barrel level formula. Well, to be honest, it's only normal for about 5 seconds, and then he comes back, but in a different place, the background. You continue your epic anime battle for about 10 seconds, but he flees again. The game later then shows you a cool fruit cutting concept. After that, it shows you a cool DK cutting concept. I like that one. The penguin even comes back for his last stand with a cool destroy everything move, and then he permanently loses. And the level is done, unless you're weird and wait a solid 10 seconds plus look at the background, and then you see a little plant supposedly eating a penguin, which was most likely the one in the mecha. But it isn't just cool because you saw a penguin getting eaten, but it's cool because you see those plants in the next level. It's level interconnection, which is pretty neat. All the bosses are all pretty good in my opinion. Each boss respects the respective theme of their respective world, but that doesn't matter. What really matters is the quality of each boss, and in my opinion, each of them are quite good, especially the one in World 5. It's pretty freaking good for one reason alone. Just look at it. The fight starts just because Donkey Kong made an earthquake so powerful that it wanked a popsicle out of a polar bear's hand. No, but other than that, the boss is really freaking good, and it's really freaking hard. All the bosses are, especially the ones from Worlds 2, 3, and 6. Nearly every boss are consistently good and have their own personality which will make you remember them. Overall, the bosses are all pretty good. So remember how I said all the bosses are pretty hard? Well, the levels are pretty hard too. But the levels that will really give you a run for your money are the ones that you get for collecting all the Kong letters in each world. The only thing you will remember is DK suffering. Oh yeah, and multiple game overs. The game is 6 years old by now, but I'm still gonna say it. Game overs are outdated and a terrible concept. just so annoying that after a certain amount of deaths, you have to restart the whole level. Isn't it not because you suck? Shut up. Another thing that the game messed up was secrets. Well, kinda. In about each world, there's about, at the minimum, one level where there's a secret path which leads to a hidden unlockable level. Which is very nice because, it's rewarding players which actually give a damn about the game. That's not the problem. Remember those cool little mini games in the original trilogy? They were fun, unique, and used animal buddies sometimes. And those banana coins that they gave you actually meant something. Instead of having secret passages in which you get extra levels, why not have a sort of shop in which you buy the levels for banana coins? That would be cool. And please, in the next game, make the banana coin stages actually fun, like in the original. But that's not the biggest disappointment to me. The biggest disappointment is, where's Engard, where's Espresso, and where's Radley? The only one here is Rambi, and kinda Squawks the parrot. But Rambi only appears like 4 times in the game, and although Squawks makes an appearance, he only appears to help you and not as an animal buddy. That would have gave Retro more level ideas. They could have at least had Engard and another buddy, and actually made Squawks an actual, animal buddy, but only in one condition. Please make Rambi fun to play. Don't take it that way. But in the game, Rambi is just okay to play. I never get excited for him, but he's nothing special. And as the only animal buddy, kind of a disappointment. Before I'm done, I'm gonna talk about the very end of the game. So if you want not to get spoiled, 3, 2, 1, go. The final boss turned out to be the Snowman King, Lord Frederick, and the boss here is really, really good, and really, really hard. Plus the music is just mwah. It's a really nice use of rock music. And after beating his multiple phases, you finally did it. You beat the game, and the game rewards you with the cutscene, and the credits roll. Psych! The game gives you with another cutscene, but for some reasons, I'm not gonna talk about it. To conclude, this game is pretty damn good, and one of the best 2D platformers to ever exist out of the past generation, or I'd say since video games existed. And it's a worthy part of the Donkey Kong Country family.